I hope all is well. I hope your Sunday is going well. Well, it's Sunday here in Atlanta, Georgia. I hope wherever you're at, whatever day it is, I hope it is going well. Excuse me. Please hit the like button again. Please hit the like button. Also, make sure you share. And please make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. It has been a minute. It has been a minute. I've been traveling, took a group to Zanzibar, in which we had a great time in Zanzibar. In fact, I'll be announcing the Zanzibar tour for 2024 sometime this week. We had such a good time and such a great response that we're going to run it back next year. And then after Zanzibar, I immediately went to Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone to meet my group for the citizenship conferment ceremony or the citizenship tour. We had a great time while we were in Sierra Leone as well. It's what's the word I want to use? I'm happy. It's fulfilling to see everyone receive their passports and be sworn in. Sierra Leone is the only country that has a transparent and streamlined way for the diaspora to reintegrate back into Africa in regards to becoming formal, recognized citizens. Sierra Leone is the only country that has this initiative that they're offering. So there will be another tour or swearing in ceremony, confirming ceremony in April. So I'll be announcing that soon. Again, there will be another swearing in ceremony, confirming ceremony in April. So if you plan on going, I would just right now, if I were you, I would go ahead and block off April 18th through like May 2nd. Again, go ahead and block off April 18th through May 2nd. For people like, oh, because usually when they formally announce it, it's last minute, but there's definitely going to be one. So you're not cut off guard and you're properly prepared. Go ahead and allot April 18th through May 2nd. Hit me up. I'll be taking another group in April, and we're going to have a great time. And again, it's very fulfilling. It's very, I'm happy and thankful to see um when I see my people receive their the people who choose to roll with me, because there are other tour operators out there, but it's a blessing for those. I mean, it's a blessing to know that there are people out there and that people want to rock with Dynast Amir, roll with Dynast Amir, roll with Donfo. So today's topic, we're going to speak on the attempted Sierra Leone coup. We were there when it went down, and everything worked out. The only inconvenience really was they implemented a curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. So nightlife, if you're into nightlife and going out, and Sierra Leone has some great clubs. If that's what you're into, that kind of got cut out because of the fortunate attempted coup. And then there's a YouTuber who's traveled on one of my tours before, who who who's been making some complaints that honestly I feel as if they are outlandish, and I was shocked by it. And so we're gonna dive into that as well. Um, if you have traveled on a tour with me, you have the right to give feedback. That is your right, and I appreciate the feedback. Um, but we have to know the difference between constructive feedback, right, and a personal attack. And so we'll dive into that a little bit later. Well, guys, do me a favor, hit the like button. And after that, I'll open up the lines, and you're more than welcome to call in, ask me anything. Let's have a conversation. Let's chop it up. Again, it's been a minute. Once again, it has been a minute, but we have a couple of announcements before we get started. Announcement number one: we are rolling to Sierra Leone. I'm sorry, we are rolling to Senegal. We are rolling to Senegal. This is going to be May 12th to the 22nd. Again, May 12th to the 22nd. We are rolling to Senegal. Please visit donfo.africa. Again, please visit donfo.africa. Click on Senegal to learn more. Again, please visit donfo.africa. Click on Senegal. We'll click on travel, then click on Senegal to learn more. We're also rolling to Nigeria. Again, we're also rolling to Nigeria. This is going to be August 4th to the 13th for the Oshun Festival. Again, this is going to be August 4th through the 13th for the Oshun Festival. So if you're interested in joining us, please visit donfo.africa to learn more. All right, let's jump into it. So there was an attempted coup. Really don't know much about who was involved. I know it was there were some military, some soldiers who defected and tried to stir up this coup, but it was shut down. It was put down. Matabio did a great job by putting down this coup, and then also shout out and much love to the Sierra Leone government. And the reason why I say that is they could have used this coup as a valid reason to not have the citizenship ceremony. Again, they could have used this coup as a valid reason. Again, as a valid reason to not carry out and have the citizenship ceremony, but they did it anyway. They did it anyway. Now Matabio did not personally swear in the diaspora who received their passports. It was actually the head of immigration who did it, but they can do that. In fact, the last ceremony, the director of tourism was the one who was there to swear everybody in, and this time it was the director of immigration, who's been newly installed, who who sworn everybody in, and that's how everybody received their passports. But once again, we have to give a special shout out to the government of Sierra Leone for fulfilling their promise and keeping to the schedule, even though we faced some adversity with this coup, and gave everyone their passports. So let me play this clip real quick from the BBC that goes into detail in regards to what happened with this coup. Jomo Kuyate, I'm still working on it. Hey, brother, Oh, and we're gonna get into what's gonna happen next in regards to the swearing-in ceremony. I don't know the exact details, but they are hinting at that they're going to make. In fact, not hinting at it, it's gonna happen. They're going to make they're going to make the requirements harder. Again, they're going to make the requirements harder. And if you watch the actual ceremony, the confirming ceremony, the head of immigration, he states what the expectations are moving forward from the diaspora who gains their citizenship through this initiative. But let's watch this video real quick. This is from the BBC in regards to the coup, attempted coup.
Citizens in the Sierra Leonean capital, Freetown, woke up on Sunday morning to the sound of heavy gunfire, as well as reports of armed men near the presidential palace and released prison inmates. But are these the hallmarks of yet another coup in West Africa? Before we get to that, this is what we know happened so far. On the 26th of November, armed men attacked a couple of prisons in central Freetown, releasing some of the inmates there. They also targeted an armory in a military barracks near the presidential palace. A number of armed men in military fatigues were then spotted in a seized police vehicle carrying heavy weaponry, and others were seen chanting that they wanted to, quote, clean up Sierra Leone. The government later announced that both former and current members of the military were involved in the attack. But later in the day, President Julius Maada Bio announced that calm had been restored.
Most of the leaders have been arrested. Security operations and investigations are ongoing. We will ensure that those responsible are held accountable through due process.
Some have compared Sunday's violence to the 20-year civil war that ended in 2002. During that conflict, on the 25th of May 1997, disgruntled soldiers staged a coup which led to further violence.
The government should take a drastic step, because this kind of incident is a recipe for chaos. I can remember the May 25 incident. It's a replica incident like this. So the government should take a tough action against those behind share information and intelligence.
We thank the soldiers and the military in general for put such situation under control. Because since after the end of the war, we never experienced such like what happened. It's rather unfortunate for this country.
One thing the president was careful to avoid was calling Sunday's events an attempted coup. The information minister, Cherno Ba, said that the attack was properly planned and coordinated. He said that some of the organizers had been arrested and were being interrogated, and once their intentions were determined, then he would announce whether or not Sunday's events were an attempted coup. The Sierra Leonean president was re-elected in June after very narrowly missing a runoff, and since then the political situation in the country has been tense. Electoral observers criticized the electoral process, pointing to inconsistencies in the vote count and a lack of transparency. They also said that there were instances of violence and voter intimidation. In August of 2023, a number of members of the armed forces were arrested and accused of plotting a coup against the president. Many countries in West and Central Africa are currently under military rule after a series of coups over the past 3 years, including Sierra Leone's neighbor, Guinea. President Julius Maada Bio will be hoping that he's not the next African leader who's overthrown by his own military.
So, guys, I want to put things in perspective real quick. So, even with the attempted coup, even though President Maada Bio doesn't want to call it attempted coup, Sierra Leone is still safer as a whole than the majority of the cities here in the United States of America. And it's definitely more safer, the country as a whole, than the United States of America. So this is the Global Peace Index, all right? Let me scroll down. Let's get to the results. Sierra Leone, blow this up, on the Global Peace Index is ranked number 47. All right, and it's in the green. Again, Sierra Leone on the Global Peace Index is ranked number 47, and it's in the green. Meanwhile, the United States of America is ranked 131. Again, the United States of America is ranked 131. Again, I want to repeat for people that didn't hear me in the back. The United States of America is ranked 131. So Sierra Leone is still a safer country, even after the attempted coup. Guys, I will not worry. Please go and visit Sierra Leone. Please, you will have a great time. It is a beautiful country with some of the most beautiful beaches on the planet. some of the most friendly people. Things aren't perfect, which I'm going to get into when we get into the second part of the show. Is Sierra Leone perfect? Absolutely not. Is Africa perfect? Absolutely not. But let's focus on Sierra Leone. Is Freetown perfect? Absolutely not. Does Freetown and Sierra Leone, does it have the problem? Do they have the problems? Absolutely. It would be disingenuous for me to say that it's perfect. But if you live in a major city here in America, whether it be Atlanta, New York, Chicago, LA, whatever, you'll be fine in Sierra Leone. Again, if you live, like I live in Atlanta. Atlanta is like the sex trafficking capital of the planet. People still refer to Atlanta as the Black Mecca. But there are individuals who live in Atlanta, who live in New York, who live in Chicago, who live in Miami, who live in LA, who will tell you they do not want to travel to Sierra Leone because they don't feel safe, meaning they live in. Meanwhile, again, they will tell you that they do not want to travel to Sierra Leone because of safety reasons. Meanwhile, they live in some of the most dangerous cities on the planet. Like I said, Atlanta is the sex trafficking capital, one of the sex trafficking capitals on the planet, the Black Mecca. You see the violence that's going on now in DC. You see what's going on in Chicago. I mean, you guys see what's going on here in America. So please do not be concerned or be afraid to travel to Sierra Leone. Go and experience Sierra Leone. I will be taking another group to Sierra Leone in April. They have not yet announced the citizenship conferment, but there's going to be one in April because the ministry that organizes the swearing in, the ceremony, the confirming ceremony, they already said there's going to be one in April. They just haven't formally announced it yet. So, guys, please go and experience Sierra Leone. You will have an awesome time, and we'll love to have you. And once again, congratulations to the new Sierra Leoneans, the individuals who received their Sierra Leone citizenship. And thank you for joining me. I am humbled. It is a blessing. It really means a lot. A sincere thank you. Not just to the group, this past group who got that with me to get their passports, but every group since 2021, since we started the first trip, April of 2021. I want to give a thank you to those individuals who decided to use Dynast Amir, Donfo, to facilitate their citizenship process, or who just wanted to come to Sierra Leone and experience the country. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot. I can't thank you enough. Thank you. Which leads me to the second part of the show. Hold on. Oops, wrong button. There is a YouTuber who came on a tour to Sierra Leone this past April, who had several complaints, which to me were very shocking. But guys, let me say this. Let me get this disclaimer. I'm not shocked by people anymore. Like I'm shocked and surprised, but at the same time, I'm not. You know, but we'll get into the complaints. But let's go ahead and get into the complaints. All right, so 3 of the complaints were Dynast is a Pan-African scammer, or the top 3, and we're going to address all of this. Dynast doesn't like Black American women, and Dynast is nonchalant when it comes to dealing with complaints or feedback. And so I wanted to keep, I don't, some of these complaints were personal, and I don't want to take it. Well, I'm trying to, it's like a thin line in regards to addressing this personally, but like I kind of have to, because people need to understand like what goes on behind the scenes. Again, what goes on behind the scenes, especially when it comes to the Pan-African scammer and doesn't like Black American women. And I want to be very careful. I'm going to be respectful. But the individual we have to use as an example so you guys can understand like the work I do behind the scenes that I've been doing since 2011. How engaged I'm in. I mean, how engaged I am. How, and people keep telling me, and people have been telling me this for years now, Dynast, you make yourself too accessible to everybody. I'm like, listen, that's my nature. I want to help. I'm a nice guy. I am a really nice guy. And however I can help, I'll help. Since 2011, when people reach out to me, I answer emails, I respond, I give people my my personal phone number. Like I said, I am probably one of the most doxed. You guys know my life story. You guys know everything about me. I share everything. I am an open book. You don't understand the number of emails I answer, the amount of people I give my phone number to. Dynast, you know, I need help traveling to Africa. Can you help me, brother? Like I know people right now. In fact, they've told me, said, Dynast, if someone has not traveled to Africa, I won't even no, but see, Ruby, the thing is, Ruby, I kind of want to address it because number one, she traveled on a tour with me. And so I'm going to treat this as a Yelp review. And sometimes when people leave Yelp reviews, the business, they'll respond. And so I want to respond and cover respond to we're going to say we're going to say complaints, but we're going to say feedback on how everything is addressed when people bring it to my attention. Because as she said, I'm nonchalant. Listen, I'm not an emotional guy. You know, when I'm on these tours, I don't want to get emotional. But your concerns are definitely addressed. What I do at the end of every tour, I come home, I get re-energized, and I take notes. You know, I get feedback, and I say to myself, how can we make these experiences better? And I'm going to show you how in the past, have I dropped the ball? And listen, it's never been malicious, okay? But have I made mistakes? Absolutely. Have these mistakes been brought to my attention? Absolutely. You know what I do? I go back to the drawing board and I correct them. And I put policies in place so that they don't happen again. But what was disappointing with this individual, she claims that she reached out to me in regards to her complaints. And guys, I'm telling you right now, it's not true. When I saw the video a couple weeks ago, this was the first time of me hearing of these complaints. This is the first time, I promise you this. And guys, listen, this video you're watching right now, this is video from the tour that she was on. Everybody's dancing. Everybody got their passports. Well, not everybody. Some people weren't eligible. But this is footage. This video you're watching right here on the site. This is footage from the tour that she was on. And I'm telling you, the only complaint or feedback that I got on the tour was, Dynast, the itinerary is off. And the individual who made this complaint or gave this feedback, she wasn't eligible for citizenship. So I had to explain to her that, listen, when it comes to this citizenship process, the government of Sierra Leone, they do everything. And shout out to Sierra Leone. I love this initiative. But a lot is done or is planned or scheduled last minute. So, for example, the day of biometrics, where they go to immigration and get fingerprinted, like, I have an itinerary. So I'll say, hey, we're going here, we're going to do our downtown or central or historic Freetown portion of the tour. I get a phone call. Hey, Dynast, bring your group to immigration right now. They got to get fingerprinted. So we have to stop everything that we're doing, and we got to go to immigration. It's what it is. So that happens, and that can affect the itinerary where we're in Sierra Leone. But as far as the complaints that the young lady had in regards to the video that she did a week or so ago, that was the first time I've ever heard of these complaints from this individual. And we'll get into the Timney situation, but I want to do something, because I want to address the nonchalant part. It says, Dynast, speak. I'm not going to mention her name. Speak on aggressive Africans demanding money, Dynast Amir. Listen, that is in every developing country, okay? Any developing country we go to, there are going to be people who are going to be aggressive and asking for money. And we cover that in our orientations. But so so on the site, I have terms and conditions, I have facts, frequently asked questions. And the frequently asked questions portion of the site came from feedback that I received from a tour that I did in Nigeria in 2022. And also other feedback that I received. So this stuff is, these, I don't want to call them complaints, but we'll say feedback. I address it. So guys, when we go to the site, donfo.africa, you click on facts, frequently asked questions. And I want to go through this. Facts at Donfo. And again, this came from questions or feedback that was given from previous tours. Guys, so I started taking people and see, and Larry, this is why I try to put everything in perspective. All right. Larry, my brother got robbed by a Black American on a New York subway. Does this mean I should blame all Black Americans for this? See, and that's why we have to put everything in perspective. And I think this is an important conversation to have. All right. So in 2018, let me give you, and also I'm going to use this opportunity so you guys can familiarize yourself with Donfo and where we started, because we have came a long way. Again, we have came a long way. Do me a favor, guys. If you're watching this and you have not hit the like button, do me a favor and please hit the like button. Again, please hit the like button. And I'm going to get into this, but I want everybody to be happy. Now, that might be delusional of me, but I want everybody to be happy, and I want everybody to know that, hey, listen, if I dropped the ball, it wasn't maliciously or on purpose. All right. And if there is an issue, I promise you guys, I try my hardest to fix it within reason. I have been watching you for years now, and all I've heard are positive feedback. Truth is, you can't please everybody. Shout out to Mimi Roberts for the super chat. All right, frequently asked questions. At Donfo, our goal is to curate an unforgettable travel experience for our clients. To decide if Donfo can provide this memorable experience, we want to ensure that the expectations are properly articulated upfront on both ends so that you can make an informed decision if Donfo will be a proper fit for you and your travel goals. So there's a reason why I put this here, and I'm going to get into that. Africa is a diverse continent made up of 54 countries and over 3,000 different ethnic groups. Africa is not a monolith. Many of the countries in Africa are still developing. Therefore, depending on what part of the continent we are traveling to, some of the luxuries that are readily available in the West may not be readily accessible. So, guys, we have orientation. Before every trip, we have probably 2 orientations. We have 2 WhatsApp conference calls. And I have to explain to people, and I'll let people know, we're not in America. We're going to Africa. Again, I explained to them, we're not in America. We are going to Africa. So some of the luxuries that you can have at a drop of a dime in America, you might not have in Africa. Or you can, but it might take time. It might not be accessible as fast. So I have to explain that to people. Africa is a beautiful continent with beautiful people, so please do not allow a few inconveniences to deter you from visiting. At times you will have to exercise a level of patience, but once you overcome the initial culture shock and some of the infrastructure issues, you will not want to leave Africa. So I prepare people like, hey, look, thank you for choosing Donfo, but these are the expectations. This is what you can expect. You got to come with an open mind. You have to be patient. To get a glimpse of what to expect and to guide you in your tour preparation, here are a few answers to frequently asked questions. Guys, I could remove the COVID part. Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is more than COVID. Are there any mandatory vaccines that I need to take before traveling to Africa? So people, they reach out. Dynast, man, this person told me I need to take this vaccine, that vaccine. You know, they just want to get inoculated with vaccines and pills. I need this pill, Dynast. This person told me I need that pill. I need this pill. I need this vaccine. I need that pill. I need to take this. I tell them, look, the only mandatory vaccine you need for the most part, the only mandatory vaccine that you need for the most part, if you are traveling from the West, or we'll say developing country, or non-yellow fever pandemic country to an African country, you do not need proof of yellow fever vaccine. So, for example, I'm coming from New York. I'm going straight to Senegal. I'm coming from Europe. I'm going straight to Senegal. Or I'm going from New York, got a layover in France. I'm going to Senegal. You do not need proof of yellow fever vaccine. You don't need proof of anything. The COVID pandemic is done. You don't need anything. And I have to explain that to people. But some people want to be conscious. And listen, that's your business. And like I tell them, you need to consult a health physician, because I'm not going to recommend all of these pills and vaccines if they're not mandatory. I'm not. You need to take that up with your healthcare physician. Now, provider. Now, if you are traveling within Africa, so like prime example, I'm going from Sierra Leone to Senegal, there is a chance that they're going to ask for proof of yellow fever. Now, sometimes they don't. Like, for example, we were in, so when we went to Zanzibar, we traveled from New York to Nairobi, Kenya, and then from Nairobi to Zanzibar. Sometimes in the past, they have asked for proof of yellow fever, but this time they didn't. And usually, guys, let me tell you how it works. You get there, they ask you for proof of yellow fever. You tell them, like, look, I ain't got it, or, I didn't know I need it. They just let you go. Or at the worst, they will make you buy a yellow fever card there. That's been my experience. But for people who just, they don't want to be confronted with, okay, where's your yellow fever card? I ain't got it. And then they start asking for money, or, hey, you need to buy one. So you don't freak out. Because I know some people just have to have structure, and it needs to be just like in America. And we got to have structure and all this other stuff. Just get your yellow fever card and be done with it. All right. Should I take malaria pills? I get the malaria question. Again, it's not mandatory. If that's something you want to do, consult your health physician. That's the only advice I can give you. I don't take them. Do I need a visa? Some countries you do, some countries you don't. Some countries you can do visa on arrival. Some countries like Nigeria, the visa process is archaic, and you have to mail your visa to the embassy, not an embassy. I forgot what they call it in Nigeria. And then you leave the visa with them. You'll leave your passport. I'm sorry, you need to mail your passport to, I forgot what they call it. It's not the embassy. You leave your passport with them. They give you your visa. You'll have your passport back in about a week and a half. Set about 10 to 14 business days. Or you can do visa on arrival. I know someone that will get you visa on arrival in Nigeria. But every country's different. And when we do our orientation, when we hold our orientations, we go into detail in regards to how to get your visa. What type of food will we be eating? Now, in the past, so my first tour was in 2019. Let me back up. 2018, when I was coronated as Prince Omoba of Odoruwa, Nigeria, the Kingdom of Odoruwa. One of my responsibilities was to bring awareness to the kingdom. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start doing tours. So in 2019, I took my first group to Nigeria for the Oshun Festival. Guys, I didn't have a website. I put together itinerary on I just put something together on in Microsoft Word. And I just told people, like, listen, you see how I travel throughout Africa? You see how I eat when I'm in Africa? That's going to be the get down. And people are like, okay. And for the most part, that's what I told people moving forward. In fact, Marie was on a tour with it. Shout out to Marie. Marie was on my first ever tour. I went on the first tour and it was good. Guys, we have came a long way. Trust me. We have came a long way. I went on the first tour and it was good. Not perfect, but I did have fun. Listen, she's right. It wasn't perfect. None of my tours have been perfect. But listen, I can guarantee you that we're going to have fun and we're going to eat good. Not perfect, but I did have fun. Shout out to Marie. She came on the first ever tour. Shout out to Black Beauty. She's been on 2 tours as well. In fact, one of the frequently asked questions, one of the changes that I made for the tours is because of Black Beauty, her feedback. And we're going to get into that. She said the lobster was just too big for me on the beach. Yeah, so Black Beauty came to Nigeria with me. She also went to Sierra Leone. She's talking about Sierra Leone. No tour company is perfect, Dynast. Listen, I'm striving for perfection or close to it. I want everybody to be happy. All right. I want everybody to get their money's worth. I want everybody to feel that when they left the tour, they were fulfilled and they got everything they wanted. Again, I know it can't be perfect, but I want everyone to be happy. Guys, hit the like button. Again, please hit the like button if you have not hit the like button. All right. So when it comes to the food, so Nigeria, the Nigeria tour of 2022. There's a dish called suya in Nigeria that the best suya that you're going to have, specifically we're in Osun State in Osogbo, is from a Fula man that's on the side of the road. Okay, that's the best suya you're going to have. But suya is indigenous to Nigeria. So we got it. So when it comes to the culinary experience, when we come on my tours, imagine Anthony Bourdain Parts Unknown. That's the type of experience we're going to have. It might not be sexy. Like, I don't do luxury tours, and I say that in my frequently asked questions. Again, I don't do luxury tours. She said Glover Court Suya Ikoyi. Again, I'm telling you, the best suya I've ever had was from outside of University of Suya, and I take that back. There's a suya restaurant in Abuja that I went to. Again, no thrills, no frills. It's just it's four Hassa guys in a back alley. That's what I'm talking about. The best suya you're gonna have, and again, this is something that's traditional and indigenous to Nigeria that I want all my people to experience. It's gonna be more than likely a Fula guy, Hassa Fulani guy on the side of the road that's grilling that shit up. Excuse my language. So I wanted my people to experience this, which we did, and some of my guests were not happy because they're like, "Why are we eating food on the side of the road?" And I had to explain to them, like, this suya, which is a traditional Nigerian food, you're going to the best suya you're going to find in the best suya you're going to find is from a Hassa Fulani guy on the side of the road. I'm sorry, it's not sexy. It's the experience, it's the food. So that's why I implemented this, to let people know. Danfo is committed to providing an authentic cultural African experience. Therefore, we will be focusing on the traditional foods of the countries we visit. To get a true, authentic African experience, you must have an open mind, be able to test your comfort level, and be willing to try different types of African cuisine. Because I mean, I had some people on the Nigeria tour in 2022. I talked to a lady the other day that came on a tour with me, and to her, that was just a terrible experience. Like, she was not happy that I fed them authentic suya on the side of the road. Like, she was not, it still bothers her to this day. And I had to explain to her, like, listen, this dish, the best of it is going to be from a Hasafalani guy on the side of the road. I'm sorry. But there is a restaurant in Abuja, but we're not going to Abuja. But even the restaurant in Abuja that serves the suya, the same dish, it's not sexy. It's just they got some chairs, a guy's grilling. You get the food, you sit down. It's not sexy at all, but the food is off the chain. Same thing with Sierra Leone. In Sierra Leone, there's a dish called cassava bread. It's a dish called cassava bread. The best cassava bread, and Black Beauty was with me when we had it, you only can find in Waterloo, and there's a lady on the side of the road. She has a container on top of her head. You flag her down. She runs to the bus. It's cassava bread and fish, orange shrimp. It ain't sexy. Like I said, it's a lady on the side of the road. She hops on the bus. Guys, I have videos of it. And we dish it out on the bus. So that's why I put this disclaimer there. Like, listen. I don't do ambiance. I do good food. I choose good food over ambiance every day of the week. Like I said, I had one lady. I called her 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry. I called her. I spoke with her before we went to Sierra Leone. I'm sorry, before I left for Zanzibar. And she's still traumatized over eating suya on the side of the road. And I told her, like, listen, look, it's the experience. It's the food. You with me, you eating good suya. And listen, it's going to be served in Oshobo by a Hasa Fulani guy on the side of the road. I'm sorry. So when it comes to experiencing the local food, a white tablecloth linen napkin ambiance should not be expected. I'm letting y'all know right now. You come with Dynast, white tablecloth, STK, what's that Japanese restaurant everybody's going to? Mr. Chow's. That's a Chinese restaurant in LA that I went to. Nobu, there we go. Nobu. It's not going to happen. I'm just letting you know right now. Don't expect that on my trip. Nobu, there we go. Nobu. It's not going to happen. Benihana's. Well, Benihana's ain't really that. I mean, Benihana's is cool. Because again, I can take you to a hole in the wall where the hole in the wall food will trump all of these high-end restaurants with ambiance any day of the week. When it comes to experiencing local food, a white tablecloth, linen napkin ambiance should not be expected. In many cases, the best local food will be found on the street and in hole in the walls. So I put that there specifically because of the experience of what happened in Nigeria in 2022. Like, I'm letting people know up front, listen, this is how I get down on my trips. This is what we eat. If we are at a private gathering and you have any dietary restrictions, we will do our best to meet your needs within reason, but cannot always guarantee the availability of food to fit your dietary needs. So if we get invited out to eat at someone's house, I would try my hardest because, I have vegetarians and vegans who travel with me. And I'm trying to tell people vegetarianism and veganism is a new concept to Africa. It is. But we will try our best to accommodate you any way that I can. But again, we will try our best. If you have any dietary restrictions, please notify us before travel. The following is what you can expect in the meal plan. Breakfast, the hotel's complimentary. Excuse me. Breakfast, the hotel's complimentary breakfast is provided as part of the tour package. Lunch Lunch consists of an entree and two non-alcoholic beverages. Dinner. Downfall will host one group dinner at a local upscale restaurant. Now, when I say upscale, again, it ain't STK, but it's a nice restaurant. So we have a place called, in fact, let me back up. Hold on, let me stop. So in Sierra Leone, when we do our group dinner, we do at a restaurant called Toma. Toma is fly as hell. In fact, shout out to Black Beauty. Black Beauty is the one who put me on. No, Black Beauty didn't put me on Toma. I'm sorry. Somebody else put me on Toma. But Black Beauty loves Toma. Toma's fly. But again, if it's ambiance versus good food, I'm choosing good food. But the restaurant will be more upscale, or it'll be nicer, you know. It'll be a nicer, like Toma, along those lines, if possible. Upscale, here we go. Downfall will host one group dinner at a local upscale restaurant. Upscale is subjective to many, so please be flexible. Remember, we are not in America. Low type, send me an email at hello@donfo.africa. Again, send me an email hello@donfo.africa. Include your phone number. Remember, we are not in America. Dinner will include an entree and dessert, along with either one alcoholic beverage and one non-alcoholic beverage, or two non-alcoholic beverages. I know at Toma, I also include an appetizer as well. Warrior Clan, a problem is I see people eat all this street food in America as well, with no hygiene. Okay, I want to get into the hotel part as well, accommodations. So in Nigeria, let me back up. Black Beauty, here we go. Insert Black Beauty. So in Nigeria, you know, we'll spend half the trip in Osogbo because we're there for the Osun Festival. Then the second half in Lagos. Black Beauty, in her own special type of way, you know, told me that, hey, Dynast, we want to go out. See, I'm not a nightlife guy. I'm a happy hour. I want to be back home around midnight at the latest. So the hotel we were staying at in Lagos it was on the mainland. I can't remember the name of the neighborhood. So Black Beauty, in her own special type of way, had to let me know that we need to be on Victoria Island. So moving forward now, when we are in Lagos, when we leave Osogbo and come to we're in Nigeria. When we leave Osogbo, we'll leave Osun State, and we come to Lagos, we now stay on Victoria Island. Thanks to Black Beauty's suggestions. And the reason why I bring this up, because again, the argument that was made was Dynast is nonchalant. That was the argument that was made, or what was said, or the complaint. Dynast is nonchalant. But this list right here, I would say SOPs, as we called it in corporate America, standard operating procedures, was birthed from the feedback from people who came on the tour. See, this is where I disagree. Food truck operators and vendors who do food street vending go by strict rules that health inspectors enforce. You ain't never lived in LA. You ain't never lived in LA. You ain't never lived in LA. You should see some of the stuff that's being sold on the street in LA, but that's another conversation. At Donfo, we strive to provide at least a 4-star hotel experience. However, in some cases, i.e. season, location, demand, we cannot guarantee that 4-star better hotels will be available. So some of the feedback that was brought up was, Dynast, we need better hotels. I said, okay. They said, Dynast, we need better hotels. I said, okay. We cannot guarantee that 4-star or better hotels will be available. Wherever we lodge, we will put forth every effort to ensure you are comfortable and the property is clean. You will be notified well in advance of hotel accommodations on itinerary located at Donfo.Africa. All hotel accommodations are single occupancy unless double occupancy is requested, i.e. couples and or families. When checking into the hotel, before you use anything in your room, please fully inspect your room to ensure that everything is clean and properly working. If there are any issues, please notify hotel staff and a Donfo representative immediately. Also, Donfo will make sure the problem is properly documented before returning to your room. If the problem is not resolved within a timely manner, should that be man? Okay. A room change can be requested if there's availability. That should be manner. I'm sorry. So we had a situation in Nigeria, 2022, where a young lady checked into her room and the toilet was broken. The hotel blamed us for the broken toilet, so therefore I had to pay for the toilet. So moving forward, I just tell people, before you check into your room, or when you check in or when you go into your room, inspect everything. Don't go in there, take a shower. In fact, I need to do a better job hitting on this. Shout out to Miss Campbell. I went on the last tour and it was good despite the attempted coup. Now, beside the attempted coup. I promise you I had nothing to do with the coup. Shout out to Miss Campbell. Miss Campbell got her citizenship. There we go. Donfo will make sure the problem is properly documented before returning to your room. If the problem is not resolved in a timely manner, a room change can be requested if there's availability. Okay. Now, so I want it real quick. So when we're in Nigeria, we're in Sierra Leone. Let me pull this up real quick. So we're on Victoria Island. Hold on, give me a second. This is the hotel we stay at in Nigeria when we're on Victoria Island. All right, so we stay at Maison Fahrenheit. No, so I'm addressing the hotel situation. So we go to better hotels now. So when we're in Victoria Island, this is the hotel we stay at. Maison Fahrenheit Hotel. It's a 4-star hotel. And let me tell you what happened in 2022. So 2022, I said, you know what? We're going to stay Victoria Island when we go to Lagos. Again, I said, we're going to stay at Victoria Island when we go to Lagos. So I was going to stay at this hotel. And being accountable, I take the blame on this because I made the decision. Associate of mine was like, Dynast, there's a hotel we stay at. There's a hotel that we stay at when I go. Let's stay at this hotel. It was called the Posh Hotel. Now, I was under the assumption that because it's called the Posh Hotel and that is on Victoria Island, that the hotel was going to be posh. So we pull up to the hotel. This is the August 2022 trip. We pull up to the hotel. We walk in. Smells like weed. It was a mess. I immediately, let me finish, Black Beauty. We dissed that Maison Fahrenheit. You got to let me finish, Black Beauty. You got to let me finish. I immediately, the guests who had issues at that hotel, when they went into the rooms, within 30 to 45 minutes, I moved them to another hotel. In fact, I moved them across the street to a hotel called Echo Hotels. Black Beauty knows that hotel very well. I immediately moved them to that hotel. Then the final, if you can see it right here, Echo Hotels and Suites. Everybody know that's a nice hotel. After that, we moved to Maison Fahrenheit Hotel, which is a nice hotel, 4-star hotel. Now, moving forward, this is where we stay. That was the original plan, but for whatever reason, I went to the posh hotel, and the posh hotel was just, it wasn't posh. It was the opposite. It puts you in the mode. If you're from Atlanta and see how this hotel is able to exist on Victoria Island. If you're in Atlanta, if you live in Atlanta, the hotels that be on Fulton Industrial, once you walked in, it was on that level. As I said, hell nah. I know people are going to be upset. Let's go ahead, fix the situation. Let's move these people out and put them in a hotel across the street, which is Echo. And then from Echo, the following day, everybody moved to Maison Fahrenheit. So again, when the individual says I'm nonchalant, when there's an issue, I immediately try to put out the fire. I try my hardest. Within reason. Again, within reason. If you have not yet, please hit the like button again. Please hit the like button. And then Maison Fahrenheit is right across the street from Echo. And like Black Beauty said, there's a lot to do at Echo. If you want to walk across the street and have fun at Echo, you can. But me personally, I'm more of I like smaller boutique hotels. Again, I prefer smaller boutique hotels who can accommodate us. That's what I prefer. So I prefer Maison. Also, Dynast, as your sister, some people are complaining about the high price of your tour and only staying for 10 days. Just wanted to let you know that also. I'm not lowering the price of my tours. I can tell you that right now. I'm not. Some people say I don't charge enough. Like if you look at what I charge compared to what other people charge and what I include, I'm not. Like I said, this isn't for everybody. I'm definitely not lowering the price at all. At all. I'm definitely not lowering the price at all. And like people that just came to Sierra Leone with me, they were like, Dynast, you don't charge enough. This past Nigeria tour in 2023, somebody told me like the people they were introduced to and who they met, they said, Dynast, you don't charge enough. So yeah, I'm not. Listen, it's just, if you can't pay the price, it's just not meant for you. It's not a good fit. That's all. I'm not, nah. I appreciate the feedback, but ain't no negotiating on that. But I'm definitely not. I'm not lowering the price at all. Not at all. No, nah. And it also, the cost of everything is going up as well. Like traveling to Sierra Leone traveling to Sierra Leone is expensive. Goodness. I swear, like that new airport is like a gift and a curse. Because it for some reason, it raised the price of everything because of the new airport taxes they're charging. Here we go. Yeah, that tour was very cheap to me. Yeah, I'm not, I ain't lowering the price. Nope, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, flying to Nigeria, flying to Sierra Leone is expensive. And then when we were in Zanzibar, I don't know what else. What other term should I use? You said good fit. That term is triggering. It's not a good fit. As much as possible, I'm doing like I've raised the standard. Marie, like I said, we have came a long way from the first tour that you were on in 2019. We have came a long way. But yeah, nah, I ain't like I said, I'm not charging enough. So we're in Zanzibar. We stayed at the Mizingani Seafront Hotel, 4-star hotel. Fly, beautiful, rustic hotel. I absolutely love that hotel. So depending on the circumstances, we will do 4-star or better, but sometimes it'll be at least 3-star. And the reason why is I read the reasons why. In Senegal, hold on. In Senegal, this is the hotel we stay at in Senegal. Hold on. Hotel Lagoon 2. 4-star hotel. Oh, what's this? Hold on, what's this? Sorry about that. This is the hotel we stay in Senegal. Hotel Lagoon 2, 4-star hotel. So people said, Dynast, we need better hotels. No problem. So with that being said, I'm not lowering the price at all. In fact, I need to raise the prices. Radisson Blu, even though Radisson Blu, we've had some hiccups in the past. And the thing about the Radisson Blu in Freetown, like, guys, there aren't that many hotel options that can accommodate large groups like mine in Sierra Leone. But Radisson Blu, 4-star hotel. So, guys, I make sure my people are comfortable when they get back to the hotel. Yeah, there's some hiccups here and there. Like, might have some issues with the AC or whatnot, or this pipe might be leaky, but you know, I make sure everything's addressed. Or you know, I saw a bug in my room. Okay, well, you know, we'll kill the bug. You know, but yeah. All right, so let's get back. If you're staying in tourist park area, then yeah, drop the price. But we went to places you would never go by yourself. Guys, see, with me, you're gonna have a true experience. It's going to be an authentic experience as much as possible. I don't like doing that touristy stuff. Like, we're gonna venture out and have fun. Guys, hit the like button again, please. Hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. So let's get back. Black Beauty says she liked Bo. Yeah. So like experiences that we had like in Bo. Not everybody does that. Not everybody's going to get that experience like that. In Nigeria, when we go and visit my king, not everybody gets access to a real Oba. Period. Again, not everybody gets access to a real Oba. So there are certain experiences that I offer with my trips that you're not gonna, it's gonna be hard for you to get. All right, let's get back. All right. Is citizenship available? Sierra Leone is the only country that offers citizenship to the diaspora. The requirements are listed on the Sierra Leone itinerary page located at Downfall Africa. Which airlines do we fly? Delta is our preferred airline. Now we fly. Now when we here we go. Shout out to Mustafa, who's came on a tour. Dynast gives you the real African experience. That's what I want to do. I want it to be as authentic as possible, from the food to the culture to the people. So we've been flying. So I prefer to fly out of New York. Sometimes we fly out of DC. Depending on where we're going, Delta only flies direct to the countries that we go to, Nigeria and Senegal. And then I prefer to fly out of New York or Washington, D.C. And with that being said, Delta does not fly direct to Nigeria out of New York. They fly direct to Dakar, but I think they only fly direct to Dakar once a week or maybe twice a week, for sure once a week. So depending on the schedule, sometimes Delta, in fact, the majority of the time, Delta is not available to fly to where we go because of the dates. Now, with me and Black Beauty, when we went to Nigeria, we flew Delta direct, but this time we flew out of Atlanta. But we also fly Air France, and Air France is Delta co-share. So Air France, KLM, they're all Delta co-share. So it's not Delta, but it's Delta. It's way beneficial to be in a group than to alone to any foreign countries. And guys, I could get into my stories traveling alone. A lot of y'all, man, like you guys see the videos, you guys see me in Dogon country. And like I said, I'm traveling alone. I have one tour. Of course, I have a tour guide who's escorting me, who can also translate. But when people come to me with like, Dynast, I could do this by myself. No, you can't. Especially specifically if it's your first time. You ain't getting to Dogon country by yourself without a guide, and you're going to pay for it. And then when you get there, because of the lack of accommodations that's there, you're not going to last. So a lot of the experiences that I provide. Now, listen, let me say this. If you just want to go to Accra, Ghana, and just do Dirty December in Accra and, run around Accra and, maybe go to Cape Coast to a slave dungeon. Yeah, I mean, go for it. But as far as the experience we offer, you're not going to be able to do that alone. You wouldn't know where to get started. But I've done the groundwork. And trust me, behind the scenes, like I said, I've done the groundwork. So Delta is a preferred airline. I prefer Delta, but for the most part, when we travel, Delta is just not available. But Delta partners are available. So Delta is partnered with Kenya Airways. So we flew Kenya Airways from New York to Zanzibar. And then also, like I said, Air France is also Delta co-share. Short layovers are important to us. So direct flights to Africa is our goal when available. Yeah, I prefer not to have layovers in Europe. I prefer to go straight to Africa and then hit our destination from there if we have to have a layover. I'd rather have a layover in Africa than in Europe. How much luggage can I bring? This pretty much says you got to, so I need to update this. So usually on international travel, you can check in 2 bags. So I need to update this. But it really depends on the carrier. If you can check in only 1 bag, if you can check in 2 bags. Hell, I flew Air Senegal back from Freetown to America. They allow 3 bags to check in. What happens if my luggage is lost by the airline? I'll admit, I dropped the ball on this a couple times. Again, I dropped the ball on this a couple times in regards to how to address lost luggage. So that's why I put this in, because this is also accountability pieces. So you come on a tour with me, you lose your luggage. I don't follow this SOP or standard operating procedure. Now I'm about to read. Come to me, hold me accountable. Hey, Dynast, you said if I lose luggage, this is how you're going to address it. You didn't address it, Dynast. So what happens if my luggage is lost by the airline? Lost luggage can be an unfortunate, inconvenient situation. And I dropped, so in Nigeria, 2022, and also in Sierra Leone, I think that was spring of 2022, we had a young lady lose luggage in Senegal. I'm sorry. It's Air Senegal lost her luggage on the way to Freetown. And in Nigeria, you had a lady whose luggage was lost going on the Nigeria tour. And I'll be honest, I handled it poorly as far as helping her recover the luggage and also making sure the individuals had what they needed to get by. I dropped the ball on that. So therefore, I have this accountability piece that if someone loses their luggage, this is what we're going to do. All right. I dropped the ball on that completely. What happens if my luggage is lost by the airline? Lost luggage can be an unfortunate, inconvenient situation. The recovery time of lost luggage is beyond our control. However, we are committed to staying in constant contact and communication with the airline airport to retrieve the lost article as soon as feasibly possible. Guys, unfortunately, the lady who lost, she ended up getting the luggage back. She lost the luggage in April, didn't get it back to November. In Nigeria, lady lost her luggage. She got it back like in 4 days. It was recovered like in 4 or 5 days. Here we go. If needed, Danfo will immediately provide a complimentary replacement hygiene kit, which will include a toothbrush, toothpaste, hand sanitizer, comb, and brush. The purchase of any replacement clothing will be the responsibility of the individual traveler. So the feedback that I received was, Dynast, I lost my clothes. I told you I need to go to a market and get some more clothes. You didn't make it happen. I dropped the ball on that. So this is the accountability piece that I have now. Danfo will make arrangements for you to acquire clothing within 24 hours of arrival and at our final destination. We recommend that you pack toiletries and a change of clothes in your carry-on as well. Will I be able to wash my clothes? Yes, the hotels offer a wash and fold service. How's the traffic? Nigeria, 2022. So there was some confusion in regards to the travel time from Lagos to Osogbo. They said I didn't clearly articulate how long it's going to take to get there, because in the past, nobody brought it up. So travel time, traffic, guys, Lagos is busy. There's going to be traffic. There's going to be delays sometime. It's always not smooth. So we have to take into consideration that in some of these major cities, there's going to be traffic. And to get to our destinations, I will let people know that, hey, like, for example, from Freetown to Bo, it's like a 4.5 hour drive. From Lagos, the airport, Murtala Muhammad Airport to Osogbo, it's like a 4.5 hour drive, depending on the traffic. Sometimes it could be anywhere from 3.5 to 4.5 hours, depending on the traffic. So I just let people know, like, hey, there's going to be traffic sometimes. There's going to be delays. There's going to be police checkpoints. So people can know. What if I need to use the restroom while away from the hotel? This was a big one. Nigeria 2022. So when we were out and about, guys, the restroom facilities are not to Western standards, and they were not the cleanest. I'll put it like that. A lot of us didn't have access to toilet paper and wipes. And, you know, especially for the women, the toilets, the restroom facilities were not sanitary. So, you know, I put this in here to remind people and let people know that I cannot guarantee when we're out and about and you got to take a potty break, I cannot guarantee the cleanliness of the restrooms. All right, you go into some of these restrooms, there's no toilet paper, there's no soap. So I said, listen, I cannot guarantee the cleanliness of the restrooms. I know we went into some restrooms, there were no toilet paper. I didn't have any toilet paper on the bus. I just wasn't thinking about it. So I said, moving forward, and again, this is to the Dynast nonchalant. I said, moving forward on the tours, I'll provide some wipes, hand sanitizer. You got to use the bathroom. Here you go. But I cannot, when nature calls, I cannot guarantee that the restrooms are going to be to Western standards. Again, I cannot guarantee that the restrooms will be to Western standards. But I will provide the necessities so you can have, I guess, a halfway decent restroom experience. You know, that's all I can do. Do you offer luxury tours? Absolutely not. I don't. I don't offer luxury tours at this moment. Don't want to deal with it. What should I wear? So, well, guys, I need to be upfront so people know what they're getting themselves into. So there's just there's no confusion. What should I wear? So in Nigeria of 2022 for the Oshun Festival, people were saying they didn't know how busy the festival was going to be, and they didn't have the right tennis shoes. So, you know, I put in here just like, hey, and then I'll explain to people like, hey, wear this, wear that, don't wear this. This is what you can wear. Pack some sandals, be comfortable. When we go to those shoe festivals, it's going to be crowded. So I wouldn't recommend wearing white tennis shoes. Wear something that's comfortable. I mean, well, white tennis shoes could be comfortable, but wear something that you don't mind getting dirty or scuffed up or whatever. You know what I mean? I'll wear sandals when I'm in Africa. So that handles where can I exchange money? And I'm gonna update the exchange money. I'm gonna update the where can I exchange money part. All right. So moving forward, I'm gonna update this. Number one, we will not exchange money. I try not to exchange money at the airport. So my goal when I arrive to a destination, we are getting in and out of the airport as quick as possible. I don't want to be in the airport. Ain't nothing there. We're getting our bags, going through passport control. We're getting on that bus and we gone. So exchanging money, you know, getting SIM cards. Nah, let's just hold off on all that. We could do that at the hotel. I'll arrange somebody to come to the hotel. But moving forward, this is what I'm going to do with the money exchange thing, because, I have like 18, 20 different people. One person needs to exchange money now. The other person might not have to exchange money. Then that other person might need to exchange money. And so I'm just like, look, when we get to the hotel, probably that following morning or that same day, depending on when we get in, I'm going to arrange for a money exchange guy to come to the hotel. Everyone will exchange at least $500. Everyone will at least exchange $500. After that, in fact, let me make notes. Update exchange money policy. After that, I will arrange with the front desk, or better yet, I will put in our group chat the number to the money exchange guy. And if you need to exchange money, just reach out to the person individually. Reach out to that individual personally, so you get it done. Because everybody doesn't need to exchange money at the same time, and it could be a lot. Can I purchase a local SIM card? Yes, you can. But guys, these foreign phone plans are so good. Like with T-Mobile, it's so good that I really don't need to get a foreign SIM card. Again, I really don't need to get a foreign SIM card, because these, like with T-Mobile, my international plan is like $15, and it works for me. It's $15 a month, and it works great for me. Okay. Guys, hit the like button again, please. Hit the like button. Can I purchase? So you can, but it's really no need to, in my honest opinion. Will my debit credit card work in Africa? Yes, but call your bank. But call your bank, let them know you're traveling internationally. But Cash App cards, these prepaid debit cards from Walmart or whatever, there is a chance that they will not work. Had a lady, she brought a Cash App card, didn't work. She didn't have access to her money. So I'm like telling people, don't bring that prepaid Cash App or prepaid cards. Don't bring these prepaid cards, excuse me, to Africa. Just call your bank, let them know you're traveling, and you should be good to go. And also your credit card company as well. And you should be good to go. But for the most part, cash is king. Oh, so when exchanging money, I need to put that in there too. And I tell people on our calls, bring brand new $100 bills, because you get a better rate. Again, bring brand new $100 bills. Again, bring brand new $100 bills, because you get a better rate. Will I be able to charge my electronics? Absolutely. There's a converter or adapter that I recommend. I tell my people to buy before they come. International adapter, because the plug-in, I'm trying to see if I got one here. The plug-in that we use in America, they don't use in Africa. It's a different plug-in, but there's an adapter that I tell people to bring that works. What is bespoke travel? Guys, bespoke travel is if you want to go to one of the destinations. Again, if you want to go to one of the destinations and you can't come with the group during the dates, the tour dates with the group tour, I can arrange a personal tour for yourself and my people on the ground to show you around. That's bespoke travel. So anything outside of the group tour is bespoke travel. Is Africa safe? Now, this is going to tie in to the Timney situation that the young lady brought up. And we speak on this on our calls. All right. Safety is important and is a top priority. We want to ensure you arrive at your destination and back home safely. Here are a few tips to ensure your safety and well-being while traveling. Protect your pockets when in large crowds. Avoid the area boys. So, guys, you know, in Africa, you got these little area boys. What's up, bro? My brother, my brother. Be careful of them. You can make friends with them if you want to. Some are genuine. Some can be genuine people. But some of them will have ulterior motives. So be careful. Be conscious of whom you share your personal contact information with. The countries that we are traveling to are developing, so many people that you come in contact with will view you as an opportunity. So again, please be careful to whom you give your contact info to avoid the possibility of them calling and badgering you for money and other items. Be careful while going out at night and be conscious of your surroundings. Keep your guard up and stay alert. We do not travel to areas and countries where there is ongoing conflict. Be careful of shady business opportunities. So I tell people this, who travel with me, you got to be careful. Again, we're in a developing country. So you have to be careful. Still safer than America, but you still have to be careful. While there are safety measures to consider, please keep in mind that Western media and propaganda have painted a negative picture when it comes to the image of Africa. Some of the issues affecting Africa are grossly exaggerated. The areas you travel to in Africa are more than likely safer than the current city that you reside in if you reside in the West. If you have any questions, hit me up. Dynast, thanks for your fast and personal response to me this past week. I emailed you, and within 12 hours, you called. Thanks for the fast response for upcoming trips. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Guys, I'm very personal. And people say, Dynast, you're too personal. You're too engaging. You make yourself too accessible. This is just how I am. Now, I want that for the most part to have everything covered as much as possible before we travel. So there's just no surprises. But again, there are gonna be unexpected things that happen when we travel. Like I was not planning for a coup, attempted coup, when we were in Sierra Leone. That was not the plan. All right, but I want to get into the whole Timney, the Timney situation. Guys, when I tell you that this was the first time that this was brought up to me, it was the first time. Yes, the Timney were aggressive. All right. So the question, so the statement was that, you know, Dynast didn't do anything about it. Let me tell you how this stuff, let's put this in perspective. And let me go back. Hold on one second. Let me go back to the main page real quick. No, wrong. The Timney shout out, a great host, your heart 100% in it, had a great time, fam. So this brother came with me to Sierra Leone a couple weeks ago, got citizenship, had a great time. So this group was part of the Timney incident, okay? And I'm putting that in quotation marks because I don't want to minimize anybody's pain and suffering. And I take feedback serious, as you can see. But the individual said I'm nonchalant, but you know, I cover everything. The individual said that I did not do anything. Let me tell you what goes on these trips. So in Sierra Leone, the majority of the people who are going are eligible for citizenship. They're eligible for citizenship. And here we go. And Sierra Leoneans always tell me the Timneys are aggressive, and my man says something about the Timneys, and my other half is half Timney himself. And guys, I don't want to turn this into the tribalism. I don't want this to be travel. On the tour, Dynast can't be with you every step holding your hand. Let me tell you what happened so let me back up for a second. So to put things in perspective so you guys get an idea of what goes on in Sierra Leone. The majority of people who travel are eligible for citizenship. They're there to come get their passports. All right, so in order to get your passport or citizenship in Sierra Leone, you have to take a DNA test with African ancestry, right? I wish I had my results here. I got to find my results. So my results came back midday. With Sierra Leone, the majority of the results that come back are either Mende or Timne, and then you'll have like here and there Fula or Limba, but I would say 95% of the results that come back for Sierra Leone are Mende and Timne. So what I host, I call them reunions. All right, so we'll do it. So the first Saturday, so when we arrive, that first weekend, that Saturday and Sunday, it has to be specific to Sierra Leone. So your results have to say Mende, Sierra Leone. Your results have to say Fula, Sierra Leone. It just can't say Fula. If it says Fula, Nigeria, you're not eligible. That's just how the rules work. So when we arrive at Sierra Leone, we usually arrive like beginning of the week or middle of the week. That first weekend, we have our what I call reunion. So we'll do a Mende reunion. We'll do a Timne reunion. So what the goal of these reunions is for our people who have been disconnected from their tribal family, from their villages, to reconnect them to a village, a home, and to their people. So I take groups to my village of Torama. So again, I take groups to my village of Torama in Bo, which is a Mende village, and introduce them to that village, and now they have a home. They now have a village, they have a kingdom. That's their tribe. If that's something they want to explore, if that's something they want to continue, they can. They go, we have naming ceremonies, the masquerades come and perform, they meet the chiefs. People find value in that. And again, I want it to be authentic as possible because I could easily just say, okay, you know what? Get some Mende masquerades, get a chief, have them come to the Radisson Blue. We'll set up in the back by the pool and let them perform and do a naming ceremony there. I'm like, no, we're gonna have an authentic experience. We're gonna go to these communities. We're going to engage these communities. I'm very big on sustainability, and in my community, I'm building a computer lab, which is almost done. And other people who might want to engage in philanthropy, I'll push that word, who want to give back, they can. They have the opportunity to do it in their respective communities. Now, can it be a little more organized? Absolutely. And we're working on that. But they are given that opportunity to reconnect to an actual village and community when we go to Sierra Leone. So I do the same thing for the Timni. People are Timni. We go to a Timni community and we engage these communities and we receive them. We have naming ceremonies. Guys, it's all on video. I tell my people that the Timnis are a little aggressive. All right, they're a little aggressive. Because again, guys, we're in developing countries. You're coming from America. And unfortunately, yeah, it's like any family reunion. You're always gonna have that uncle or that auntie who be tripping. Again, it's like any family reunion, you're going to have the uncle or the auntie who is going to be tripping. You know, so this is what happened. So we went to Timney, local Masama, or Timney community, had our naming ceremony. And yeah, they're a little loud and aggressive. All right. So this is what usually happens once the event is over. All right. I tell everybody, hey, we got to go. It's time to get on the bus. You have a group who's ready to go. So they get on the bus. Then you have another group who is happy to reconnect, who wants to connect with people, who wants to get to go deeper. I guess that might be the correct term. Go deeper with their their lost Timney cousins and brothers and sisters. So they're getting phone numbers. They're talking. They're saying, hey, how can we reconnect? Oh, I want to come back. I'm going to come back this day. I'm going to come back this day. Let's hang out. Oh, thank you for the experience. So you have that going on. So part of the group is on the bus. The other group is still out enjoying and meeting the people, shaking hands, holding babies. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this experience. In fact, here's King Joseph. Yeah, that's what happened. I have to put everything in context so you guys can fully understand how this stuff works. Oh, who's calling me? Hold on. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. Somebody's calling me. So you guys can fully understand how this works. Because the individual there was, and again, I don't want to minimize anybody's pain and suffering. We'll put that in quotation marks. But it was greatly over exaggerated. And I feel safe in saying that in regards to her concerns. These Timney women and the masquerade is not a threat. They're not. Yeah, let me step back for a second. So this is what happened. So the accusation that was made was Dynast just sat there and watched as these women, the masquerade, and these women were on the bus asking for money. Guys, I wasn't on the bus because, again, when I say it's time to go, part of the group goes on the bus. The other group, they're still talking and enjoying and soaking in the moment and the experience. This, for the majority, in fact, not for the majority, for all of them, for all of my guests, this is the first time they've ever done this. So some people are enjoying the experience. Some people are ready to go, which is cool. So me, I'm walking around, I'm getting everybody, hey, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. So by the time I get on the bus with everybody else, they're already gone. So what happens when we're driving off, that's when I was told about what happened in regards to the masquerades and the women on the bus. Because by the time I got everybody to the bus, because, I'm still gathering everybody, I'm talking to the chiefs, the elders, thanking them for what they're doing, for what they've done. Then I get on the bus. We're already gone. It gets brought up about what happened. And guys, when I tell you what was, it was brought up in a joking manner, like, oh my God, these people got on a bus, was asking for money. No one was in fear. It was more of a, a joking matter, like an experience. Like, this is an experience that we can talk about, that I can share. Like, this is part of the experience, like that type of matter. If that makes sense. I mean, does that make sense? So it wasn't brought up in a matter of, oh my God, Dynast, I wasn't safe. It was brought up like, man, these Negroes was on this bus begging for money, girl. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh my God. Man, they was tripping. If that makes sense. And then on top of that, the reason why nobody really complained about it, because you see these happy faces getting their passports. You know, people are there to get their passports, become they're citizens now, so they're not really tripping off of. So that's why I was shocked and disappointed when this individual, and this trip was in April, and not saying there's a statute of limitations when it comes to certain complaints, but this trip was in April. This individual didn't come out with these statements until November. So that's why I was shocked, because I'm always in. Let me back up for it. Let me go back, and this part is important, and I don't want to make this personal, but I have to somewhat, because people need to know what goes on behind the scenes. And I'm going to do this respectfully. I mean, but there's no statute of limitations to complaints. Like, you could complain, hey, Dynast, I came on your it's been sitting on my spirit for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I had this issue. Just in a future Dynast, make sure it's corrected. She could have easily done that, but she decided to do what she did, which to me was shocking. Because like I said, the only complaint that I got on that tour, somebody coming to me and say, hey, Dynast, listen, this itinerary is it's everywhere and all over the place. And I had to explain to her the reason why it's like that is because I am at the mercy of the government of Sierra Leone. So when the government of Sierra Leone says jump, I got to jump. There's nothing I could do. And then after that, she understood and we moved on. But I'm going to address it now. Like, so moving forward, when we go to this community in Local Masamba for the 10-day reunion, I'm going to have a conversation with the chiefs and say, hey, listen, we cannot be as aggressive. We got to tone it down. And that's how we're going to correct it. But this was all new to me because, again, when it happened, it was laughing and giggles about it when we were on the bus headed back to Freetown. Again, it was laughing and giggles when we were on the bus headed back to Freetown. And again, it was part of the experience. No one was saying that, here we go. She is capitalizing on the timing on the recent trip to get more viewers. But this ain't the way. I mean, this isn't the way. You know, like I said, it was all laughing and giggles. When that bus pulled off, we were headed back, and people told me what happened because I wasn't on the bus. But I want people to understand. So I think we covered the nonchalant part. And I want to get into the Pan-African scammer and doesn't like Black American women part. And we're going to use this young lady as an example, respectfully. And then after this, we're going to close this chapter. I'm not going to bring it up anymore, but I just thought it was important so you guys can understand what goes on behind the scenes. Yeah, it's, the unexpected is going to happen, but it's all about when the unexpected happens, resolving any issues that might come up. From my understanding, even though it was ghetto, what they did, for lack of better words, it wasn't an issue. Again, when we pulled off, we was down the road, and they told me what happened because I wasn't on the bus. It was laughing and giggles about it. So, and I hinted at this from the beginning. Since 2011, you guys do not understand how accessible I have made myself to the community, how much help I've given people, how many phone calls I've answered, emails I've answered. Sorry about that. Somebody was calling. How much guidance I've given. And not just from I want to travel to Africa perspective or level. I'm talking about life, corporate America. All across the board, I have helped people in the background. I have been a selfless leader. I have given my time. I have donated my time. I have helped you guys get the gist. You do not understand the number of YouTubers, because I'll go ahead and put this out there. I'm a pioneer. I was the first, or one of the first, to really 10 toes on the ground document Africa. And you don't understand the number of people who have reached out. Dynast, I want to start my YouTube page. Dynast, I want to do this. Can you help me with that? Dynast, I need this advice. You guys have no idea how I make myself available to everybody. It's the truth. Albert, I see your comment, but I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth. I'm just telling the truth. I ain't never stole from nobody. It's everything is done out of sincere. I'm really sincere about what I do and happy about what I do. And I've sacrificed a lot. Yes, I'm a sales guy, and my background is in sales. And I left a very successful sales career. In fact, part of the reason why, when I was in corporate America working for Cintas, part of the reason why I wasn't advanced up the corporate ladder was because I was doing all this while working a job. And you do not understand the number of people who are saying, Dynast, you should remain anonymous. Dynast is going to hurt your job. It's going to hurt your work. It's going to do this, it's going to do the other. It's going to affect you. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm putting myself out there and I'm making myself accessible. Even while I work for corporate America, making decent money, making very good money. With my sales background, if I wanted to get a job for Stryker or Boston Scientific, I can. But I chose not to. I decided to go this route. And that's why, guys, I want to be very careful because I don't want to sound arrogant, or as this person said, hold on, let me go to this comment. Here we go, another Christ-like YouTuber who always claimed to help so many. So I don't want to sound arrogant, But I don't have the Pan-African scam. I could just go back to corporate America and get a very, very high-paying sales job with a medical device company, medical sales company. So that's why the whole Pan-African scamming thing just doesn't make any sense, because I don't have to do that. I just go back and get a sales job and make a lot of money. But my heart isn't into it. I've had opportunities to work for other companies. I don't want to do it. There's one Centos office near the Quick Trip around my workplace. Are you in Decatur? Because if you're in Decatur, that's the one that's the office I was based out of. So, and I want to be careful, but you guys need to understand what goes on behind the scenes. And I think this is important. This is an important conversation, and I'll be very careful because I don't want to turn this personal. But the individual who did this video, she benefited from all of what I said as far as helping people out. Reached out to me, Dynast, I need help with this. Dynast, I need help with that. Behind the scenes, no problem, what you need. The individual and other individuals in the past, and guys, I don't want to make this messy, but this conversation needs to be had. Hell, Black Beauty's right here. Black Beauty, have you ever called me asking questions in regards to corporate America and how I can help? Or you need help? Jackie, have you ever reached out to me in regards to questions or assistance you needed with corporate America, and was I there? Yes, you give good advice. So the lady who did this video, Black American woman, also reached out to me needing help with corporate America, and I gave her sound advice, which in turn, she got a raise and more vacation. I was running this lady's ads for free on my page. So that's why and again, behind the scenes, I help out everybody. So that's why the Dynast is a Pan-African scammer, doesn't like Black American women. But behind the scenes, I'm helping sisters out. I'm helping brothers out. I'm giving them guidance. That's why to me, this was shocking. Because I'm one of the few people in this space, because of my experience from UGA, college educated, corporate America, I was successful athletics, and I was successful in all these fields. I can give sound advice. And as Black Beauty said, yes, you give good advice. And the lady who made the video, I gave her great advice, in which she got a raise and got more vacation. Ran ads for free. And guys, I've been doing this for years behind the scenes. Again, I've been doing this for years behind the scenes. That's why I was kind of shocked. But now moving forward, man, I'm not shocked by people anymore. I'm not. So yeah, but again, I just wanted to come on here and again, I'm treating this like a Yelp review. If the individual didn't come on a tour with me, I wouldn't have. You guys know me. I wouldn't have responded. But because she did, and if you've been on a tour with me, you have the right to do a review, video review. You have the right to give feedback, whether negative or positive. That is your right. You spent your money with me. You have that right. But in this situation, this seemed more like a personal attack. I have no clue where it's coming from. But I have helped all across the board, whether it's Black American women, Jamaican women, African women, Black American men, FBA, ADO, whatever you call yourself, Hebrew, Israelite, Muslim, trust me, behind the scenes, we might not agree on everything. Again, we might not agree on everything. But Dynast helps out. And Dynast is putting in his work consistently 2011, and I'm not going anywhere. So anyways, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynast Amir, search for Uhuru. Have an awesome day. Peace.